Hello students, welcome to the lecture series of fluid mechanics. Myself, Professor Dhruv Patel. In our last lecture, we have learned about Pelton wheel turbine. In today's lecture, we will learn about Francis turbine, or we can say inward radial flow reaction turbine. So first of all, radial flow reaction turbines are those turbines in which water flow in the radial direction. That means from the outside to inner side or from the inner side to outward side. So basically there will be a two classification. First one will be outward flow turbine. In the outward flow turbine, in which water flow radially but from inner side to outer side, right, from center to outer side. And second one is inward type turbine, in which water flow radially but from outer side to inner side. Clear students? So there will be a two types of reaction turbine. First one is outward flow and second one is inward flow. Both are radial flow types. Now we will understand what do you mean by reaction turbines. So in the Pelton wheel turbine, Pelton wheel is impulse turbine, clear, in which only kinetic energy is used for the input of the turbine. But in the Francis turbine, it is reaction type turbine. In the reaction type turbine, there will be a pressure energy as well as kinetic energy inside the turbine. Clear students? So there will be both energy for the inlet of the turbine, right? So let us understand basic configuration of our Francis turbine. Remember students, in examination they can also ask explain inward radial flow reaction turbine. That means you have to explain Francis turbine only. Here it is one schematic animation of the Francis turbine. So according to Francis turbine theory, water will flow from the radial direction outward to inward type, right? So from this sketch, shaft is located at vertical position, right, and water will be moving in outward to inward direction. Water will enter radially and moves out at axial direction, right student? This is animation of Francis turbine. So let us understand schematic diagram of reaction turbine or Francis turbine. So in which basically first component is casing. So here spiral type casing is used because spiral type casing in outer side area will be maximum, right, and at the center area will be minimum. Why area is minimum at the center? Because at the center we have to reduce the pressure. So if the area is minimum, then velocity will be maximum and our pressure will be minimum. So at the center area will be minimum for the spiral casing, right? Next component will be guide vanes. So for the guide vanes, here guide vanes are fixed and they can adjustable with respect to flow of a water. So they are just guiding the water with respect to runner or blade. Next component will be runner or moving blade. So it is actually a complicated component of any type of a turbine. In the Francis turbine, this type of runners are used. See in this sketch, here vertical types runners are there. So it will guide runner to the axial direction, right? So water will enter from this direction and it will rotate like this and remove from axial direction. At the exit, one draft tube is attached at the end of the turbine because draft tube is used for the removal of vapor pressure and cavitation. Clear students, right? So this is basically schematic diagram of the Francis turbine. Next one is what you have to draw in the examination. So in the examination you have to draw side view of the turbine. So from the side view it is very simpler. It is outer section of the turbine. So with respect to spiral casing, right, this area will be maximum, and whenever we are going in the inner side, this area will be minimum here. Clear students, right? Next one is here in the center, shaft is there. On the shaft runner is mounted, and after the runner guide vanes or guide wheels are mounted, right? Clear students? So in the modern Francis turbine, the water enters runner at the turbine in the radial direction at outlet, and water will move in the axial direction in the inlet. Suppose this is shaft of the Francis turbine which is located at the vertical direction, right? So water will enter from the radial direction, right? Here water will moving like this and remove at axial direction with respect to shaft. Clear students? So water will remove at axial direction with respect to shaft. Next one is, so modern Francis turbine is a mixed flow type turbine because at the inlet entry is radial and at the outlet exit is axial. Clear students? So it is also called as mixed flow type turbine, right? Now let us understand velocity triangle of the Francis turbine. At the inlet side of the Francis turbine, there is nothing special. So velocity triangle of the inlet side will be normal as it is. So first we have to draw V1 for the radial entry of the jet, that is known as V1. Now we have to convert U1. This is blade velocity U1. So we have to transfer blade velocity in here. So V1 after U1. Then we will draw relative velocity VR1. So in this triangle U1, VR1 and V1, resultant vector is V1, right? Now two components of the main velocity V1 will be there. First component will be Vf1 and second component will be Vw1. Vf1 is called as flow velocity and Vw1 is called as whirl velocity. Clear, students? So first component will be Vf1 in vertical direction because V1 in slanted direction, and horizontal component will be Vw1. Clear, students? So this is simple inlet velocity triangle as usual. Now angle between V1 and blade direction, that is alpha 1, and angle between relative velocity and blade direction, that will be beta 1. Clear, students? Now let us understand outlet velocity triangle. In the outlet velocity triangle, the flow is axial, right? Flow is axial, so there will be alpha 2 is 90 degree, right? So first of all, according to our theory, we have to draw VR2. Now we will transfer this blade velocity U2 into this, right? So U2 will be there. Now from the triangle of VR2, U2 and V2, the resultant velocity will be V2. So for the resultant velocity, we have to draw initial point to final point. Now V2 is here. Now there will be two components of V2. First one is Vf2 and second one is Vw2. V2 itself a vertical component, so we can write Vf2 is equal to V2 and Vw2 is equal to 0, right? Because V2 itself a vertical component. In that situation, alpha 2 will be 90 degree. Clear, students? Now VR2 and U2, between those two, angle will be beta 2, right, students? So in the Francis turbine, you have to remember that flow is axial at the outward side, so we have to take alpha 2 is equal to 90 degree because flow is axial, right? Here for the radial discharge, we have to remember Vw2 is equal to 0 from this sketch and alpha 2 is equal to 90 degree. Clear? Now work done per second. This is mass flow rate into velocity change. That means from our earlier derivation, we have to remember that for the radial blades, right? Remember last theory of the impact of jet. For the radial types of a blades, we have to take this equation rho a V1, Vw1 U1 plus Vw2 U2. In this equation, Vw2 is 0, so we can write rho a V1, Vw1 into U1, right? Now for the hydraulic efficiency, output by input. Our output will be work done per second and our input will be potential energy. Now for the Francis turbine, input will be potential energy because water is coming from the some potential head, right, or some height. That means work done per second rho a V1, Vw1 U1 and potential energy, that means rho Qg H. That means we also say this water power. So from the simplification, rho got cancelled, area into velocity, that means discharge. So at last Vw1 U1 and G H. Clear, students? That will be hydraulic efficiency of Francis turbine. Clear, students? You just have to remember inlet and outlet velocity triangle for solution of example. Now let us understand design aspects for Francis turbine. So first of all, this is velocity triangle as we have discussed earlier. First is flow ratio. So Kf will be flow velocity divided by theoretical velocity. Flow velocity, that means Vf1, and theoretical velocity, that means under root 2g h. So from that we can find Vf1 is equal to Kf under root 2g h, right? Second one will be speed ratio. So it is same as like a Pelton wheel turbine. Speed ratio, that means U1 divided by theoretical velocity, that means U1 divided by under root 2g h. From that we can find U1, that means blade velocity at inlet is equal to Ku under root 2g h. Third one will be U1 and U2. Remember, students, in the Pelton wheel turbine we have to take U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. But here it is in the Francis turbine, radial blades are there. So diameter of or radius of the inner side and outer side will be different. So R1 is not equal to R2. So D1 is not equal to D2. So U1 is not equal to U2. So we have to find U1 and U2 separately for inner and outer diameter. So u1 is equal to pi d1 n by 60 and u2 is equal to pi d2 n by 60. Clear? Third one will be overall efficiency. For overall efficiency, we have to take turbine configuration first. In the turbine configuration, water power at the inlet, runner power at the center and shaft power at the outlet. So for the overall efficiency, shaft power divided by water power. So shaft power divided by water power, that means SP divided by water power rho QGH, right? Next one will be discharge. Now discharge Q is equal to area into flow velocity. Area into flow velocity. Here at the inlet, flow velocity will be VF1, right? But what is area of the turbine? So see this cross section of the turbine, this area will be toroidal shape, right? That means pi d, that is circumference, and b, that means width of it. So we can write area as pi d1 b1 for inlet and pi d2 b2 for outlet condition. Clear students? So our discharge will be pi d1 b1 vf1 is equal to pi d2 b2 into vf2. Remember students, for the Pelton wheel turbine, we have to take discharge is equal to pi by 4 d square into velocity of jet v1. But in this equation, we have to take discharge is equal to area pi d b1 into velocity of flow vf1. Clear students? Where d1 and d2 is inlet and outlet diameter and b1 and b2 is width of inlet and outlet parameter. Clear? So let us solve one example based on Francis turbine design. So remember all the things, velocity triangles and equations. From that we can easily solve the examples of Francis turbine. So let us solve one example. Design the Francis turbine based on the following data. First data is head is 100 meter. So H is 100 meter. Power is 3 megawatt. So here shaft power will be 3 into 10 raised to 6 watt. Speed, that means RPM, N is equal to 400 RPM. Hydraulic efficiency 0.89, overall efficiency 0.86, ratio of B1 and D1, this is 0.1, flow ratio, that means KF 0.2, D1 is equal to 2 times D2, this is given relation. Velocity of the flow is constant, that means we can write Vf1 is equal to Vf2. Clear students? So first of all, we don't have to draw velocity triangle at first. We just have to remember which equation we will know, right? From the given data, we know the equation of hydraulic efficiency, overall efficiency and equation of Vf, Kf also. Clear students? So from the given data, all these three data we can solve. So from the design of Francis turbine, which value we have to find? So we have to find diameter at inlet and outlet, width at inlet and outlet, so outer side perimeter. So outer side and inner side periphery is already find out, and we have to find inlet and outlet angle respectively. Clear? Alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2. Clear student? So first of all we will put Kf equation. So here Kf will be Vf1 divided by under root 2g h. From that Vf1 is equal to Kf divided by under root 2g h. So Kf is 0.2, 2g is 9.81 and h head is 100 meter. From simplification, Vf1 is 8.86 meter per second. From that, this given data, Vf1 is equal to Vf2. So Vf2 is also 8.86 meter per second. Clear students? After that, let us put equation of efficiency overall. So overall efficiency will be shaft power divided by water power. Shaft power divided by water power. Clear students? You have to remember this equation because at the inlet water power is there, at middle runner power and at outlet shaft power will be there. So overall efficiency will be shaft power divided by water power. So shaft power instead of water power we can write rho QGH, right? From this equation only Q is unknown. So let us make Q as a subject. So Q is equal to power divided by, this is value of overall efficiency 0.86 rho into GH. So if you put power value as 3 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 0.86, rho for a water is 1000, g is 9.81 and head is 100. So we can get 3.55 meter cube per second as a discharge value, right? From the discharge, we already know the second equation of discharge. So Q is equal to area into flow velocity. So Q is equal to area pi d b1 into flow velocity vf1. From that, Q is given pi 3.14, d1 is unknown. instead of B1, we can write B1 is equal to 0.1 D1 from the given data. So here we can write 0.1 D1 instead of B1, right? And VF1 value we have find out 8.86. So from this simplification, we will get D1 at the inlet diameter will be 1.13 meter. So from this relation, our width will be 0.113 meter at inlet side, right? Similar way for the outlet, discharge will be pi d2b2 into vf2. So from that equation, q is already find out 3.556 meter cube per second, pi is 3.14. Here d2 is unknown, right? So wait for it. B2 is also unknown, and VF2 we have already find out 8.86. So first of all, from the given data, we can write D2 is equal to D1 by 2. So D2 is equal to 1.13 divided by 2, so 0.56. So let us put D2 value here 0.56. So we can solve B2 is 0.226 meter. So our first phase of the example is done almost. We have find out D1 and D2 and B1 and B2. Now we have to draw velocity triangle and solve the angles of velocity triangle. So for the velocity triangle, we have to find out U1 and U2 value, right? So U1 is equal to pi D1n by 60. So pi D1 is 1.13. RPM is given as 400 divided by 60. So 23.66 as a U1. Similar way, pi D2n by 60. So we can find U2. Clear? It is very simple. So here now we have U1 and U2 also. Now we can use hydraulic efficiency. Remember student, for the solution purpose of the Francis turbine example, you have to first analyze given data, right? After that, you have to simply analyze which equation is known by you. Then after, you have to use each and every data for given data. So at last, hydraulic efficiency, that means we have already derived equation VW1 U1 divided by GH. From this data, we can find out V1 value. This value can be helped out for the drawing of velocity triangle, right? So VW1, that means 36.9 meter per second. So from our data, we can draw velocity triangle as per our theory. So here it is velocity triangle. Now we have to find all the angles. So first angle will be alpha 1. So for the tan alpha 1, opposite direction will be VF1 and nearer direction will be VW1. So tan alpha 1, that means VF1 divided by VW1. Now VF1 is found by us and VW1 is also found by us. So we can write tan alpha 1 is equal to 0.2401, right? So alpha 1 is equal to 13.5 degree. Clear students? After that, beta 1. So for the tan beta 1, let us take this velocity triangle. So opposite direction VF1 and CD nearer side. So we can also write CD is equal to VW1 minus U1. So CD is equal to VW1 minus U1, that is nearer side. So all the values already found by us. So VF1 is already 8.86, VW1 is 36.9 and U1 is 23.66. So you can write beta 1 will be 33.79 degree. Now in the outlet velocity triangle, we have to find tan beta 2. Opposite direction is V2 or VF2 or nearer direction U2. So here tan beta 2, that means VF2 divided by U2 is equal to 8.86 divided by 11.83. So we can also find beta 2 is 36.83 degree and alpha 2. Remember this, for the radial entry or axial outlet, alpha 2 is always 90 degree from outlet velocity triangle. Clear students? So this is basic example related to design of Francis wheel. You can solve 2 or 3 similar example and post your doubts in the comment section. Clear students? So this is it from today's lecture. Thank you for watching my lecture and keep revising fluid mechanics.